Ahmed Ali Abdullah Saleh congratulates Yemenis on the 33th anniversary of the reunification day. May 1990 constitutes creation and rebirth of the Republic Arab of Yemen. Local rights group documents Houthis' violations against civilians in Id. Welcome to Yemen Today TV. This is the English news with me, Shazad Abdelbay. Ambassador Ahmed Ali Abdullah Saleh congratulated all the Yemeni people on the 33rd anniversary of the Yemen unity. In addition, Ahmed Ali affirmed that the Yemeni unity represented a great victory for the history, struggles, sacrifices, and dignity of the Yemenis, also the principles of the glorious revolutions of October and September. He added that the people of Yemen shall not surrender and will preserve and defend the great accomplishment and confront all attempts for division. The United States offered sincere wishes to the people of Yemen on their National Unity Day. This came in a statement published by the U.S. State Department, which said that the United States supports the UN-led peace efforts to advance a Yemeni political process to resolve the conflict. The statement affirmed the U.S. commitment to helping Yemenis create a brighter future, building upon the UN-brokered truce. The United Arab Emirates leaders congratulated Chairman of the Presidential Council on National Day. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed sent his congratulations to Rashad al-Alimi on the occasion of Yemen's National Day. Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed also posted wishes to al-Alimi on the occasion. French President renewed his country's support for peace efforts and its adherence to Yemen's unity and stability. In a cable of congratulations to President Rashad al-Alimi on the National Day, French President repeated the inclusive and comprehensive political solution that can put an end to this long-term war. He stressed that the stability requires rebuilding a state capable of providing services to all citizens. The Arab Parliament affirmed its support for the security and unity of Yemen. This came in remarks sent by the Arab Parliament to Yemen's leadership. The Arab Parliament sent best wishes to the Yemeni people to achieve security and stability and to end the war. May 22, 1990 witnessed a birth and creation of the Republic of Yemen. Such a historical accomplishment manifested the will of leaderships and the peoples in the north and the south. This report has more details.
The re-achievement of unity of the homeland on the 22nd of May in 1990 was a sign of the establishment of the Republic of Yemen. But the Houthi militia drops its bidding masks in the name of unity with every national holiday. In contrast to the dominance of the ceremonial manifestations of the 33rd anniversary in all parts of the country, slogans and special activities on the occasion of what it calls the memory of the communist spread in the areas under the control of the Houthi militia. Sana'a, that witnessed on the 10th anniversary of the re-establishment of unity, an immortal celebration of restoring national cohesion among the people of the same nation. Its most prominent squares and performance arenas are dedicated to ceremonial activities of sectarian dimensions. In this banner that occupies a street in the heart of the Yemeni capital Sana'a, the Houthi militia claims that the cry is a religious dance and is not a partisan or sectarian act. It is considered by observers as an intimidation of the opponents and a strength of religion to pass the ideas of the group and its political goals, and to perpetuate the sectarian activities whose hateful voice is always louder than the national activities. That the militia holds timidly and under the pressure of the patriotic masses, loyal to the sacrifices of the revolutionaries September and October. Among its most important goals is the re-establishment of unity and the establishment of the Republic of Yemen within the framework of comprehensive Arab unity. Observers say that the Houthi militia is trying to detach citizens from the Republic's noble values and immortal achievements by intensifying its sectarian and dynastic activities and returning Sana'a to what it was before the 26th of September revolution. But the capital of the Republic will triumph over the terrorist group, and the slogans of the Republic will overshadow and devour the oppressor.
The Houthi militia blew up a citizen's house in Taz. The rebel militia has also been committing criminal actions against opponents by bombing their homes in areas under their control. A local rights group documented thousands of human rights violations against people in Ib committed by the Houthis. This report has more details.
The Yemeni Network for Rights and Freedoms revealed that the Houthi militia committed more than 3,519 crimes and violations in Ib Governorate during the period from 2020 to 2023. In a recent report, the network stated that the Houthi militia was involved in the killing of 213 unarmed civilians from various directorates of the Governorate, including children, women, and elderly men, and the wounding of 189, including 9 children, in addition to assaulting 121 others, including 26 children. The report also recorded that 13 assassinations, 9 executions of political leaders and social figures, and 9 kidnapped murders under torture. The report also monitored the abduction of 582 civilians by the Houthi militia, including children and women, while about 123 abductees and detainees from Ib Governorate are still in the prisons of the Houthi militia until the moment. The network's field team also documented 65 cases of torture of abductees in militia prisons. The report documented 532 cases of damage to public and private property as a result of the Houthi raid, noting that the Houthi militia looted 65 farms and completely destroyed 12 other farms, in addition to looting 38 vehicles and means of transportation and destroying 2 water collecting tanks. The network's field team also recorded the Houthi militia storming and occupation of 32 government schools and 1 private school, and converting 9 of them into private prisons to detain the people of the Governorate. The report also documented that the Houthi militia recruited children under the age of 17, and the militia pushed them to the battlefronts in the governorates of Taiz, El-Dara, El-Bayda, Shabwa, and Ma'rib, most of them without the knowledge of their families, stressing that these crimes committed by the militia against the people of Ib Governorate rise to war crimes against humanity.
Massam Project for Demining in Yemen announced the removal of more than 1,000 mines, unexploded ordnance, and explosive devices. In addition, the media center of the project stated that the removal operation were distributed between 901 unexploded ordnance, 159 anti-tank mines, and 5 explosive devices. According to the project statistics, the number of mines cleared since the beginning of the project until May 19 has increased to more than 300,000. Next in the news. The Presidential Council settles the issue of thousands of dismissed civil servants in the southern areas. Welcome back. To talk about the 33rd anniversary of the Reunification Day, joining me from Los Angeles, Fernando Carvajal, a former UN expert in Yemen. Good to have you again, Fernando.
Thank you for having me.
So let me start directly. As an international expert in the Yemeni affairs, how do you describe the historical accomplishment of the Yemen's reunification?
Yemen unification in 1990 was definitely an achievement in the southwest of Arabia. If we look at history, the unification of the Yemeni territory had been a policy for the Republic, the Yemen Arab Republic, and even for the independence, the fighters for independence in the south against the British. Since 1967, the people that established the Republic in South Yemen after British colonialism expressed their willingness to embark on the unification project. So in 1990, for better or for worse, it was the accomplishment that had been planned for decades before.
So, taking into account the current state of the affairs in the country, in your opinion, who poses a real danger in Yemen's unity?
We absolutely have to look at the root of the conflict. We have to look at past the rhetoric, past the propaganda. And today, the primary obstacle to unity, to the dissolution of unity in Yemen, are the Houthis. There is a lot of rhetoric over the weekend, and we see this over the past couple of years, since 2019, basically, where the narrative has focused on the SDC. But when we look at the rhetoric that comes out from Yemeni political figures of northern origin primarily, they fail to focus on the Houthis. They fail to focus on the primary obstacle today to unity. The Houthis march into the south. The Houthis have fragmented the political environment in Yemen. They have fragmented the political geography of Yemen. And without looking at the Houthi issue, without looking at a future arrangement with the Houthis, you cannot begin to speak of maintaining unity. And the words are important. There is no secession at the moment. There is what we see in Aden is a unification of the southern factions. And it is very interesting that we look at the last couple of weeks where the narrative from government officials, Islah, Houthis, other GPC members, the reaction has been to attack the SDC as preparing for secession, rather than looking at what the SDC is doing and unifying the Hirak factions in order to oppose the Houthis. For 8 years, we have seen Islah, the GPC, the national military, lose territory to the Houthis. That means that they're losing unity. If we also examine the words of President Rashad al-Alimi on Unity Day, when he mentioned unity and that had the problem since 1994, he has basically, some Southerners have basically interpreted that as Rashad al-Alimi calling for the parties to sit back down, re-examine unity, and reset the clock on unity. You cannot begin to do this while the Houthis are in power in Sana'a.
Right. How is a unified and stable Yemen important for the security of the region and the world?
The Houthis love the line that the regional and international powers are bent on breaking Yemen, are bent on dividing Yemen. And yet this morning, since last night, we've seen nearly every Western government and definitely every Gulf government call on President Rashad al-Alimi and congratulate him on Unification Day, on Unity Day. And the only ones that have canceled the celebration of Unity Day are the Houthis in Sana'a and elsewhere where they control. There is no doubt that the regional powers in the Gulf and the GCC, whether it's Saudi, Oman, or UAE and Qatar, they all see a unified Yemen as a priority, as a precursor for stability. it is just reality that they need to look into, that the way things are on the ground, unification under the Houthi leadership is not a recipe for peace. It is not a recipe for stability in the southwest of the Arabian Peninsula.
Right. So we're going to have to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining us, Fernando.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The Presidential Council gave directions to settle the financial issues of 52,000 civil servants who were dismissed from their jobs with no reason. This report has more details.
Yemen's Presidential Leadership Council announced the reinstatement of approximately 52,000 civil, security, and military officials who had been dismissed over 30 years ago in the country's southern districts. According to the state-run Sabah news agency, Rashad Al-Alimi, the PLC's chief, signed directives confirming the reinstatement, promotion, settlements, and compensation fees for the 52,766 employees who were forcibly removed during the 1994 Civil War. The rulings concern the adoption of procedures for a previously created committee tasked with dealing with the concerns of employees who were forcibly dismissed from their jobs in southern Yemen. The committee included procedures for reinstating and compensating personnel who had been dismissed from their jobs in the armed forces, interior forces, and political security services. Speaking on condition of anonymity, a retired military official reported that it is a positive sign that their grievances are being acknowledged, and it reaffirms the PLC's commitment to healing the wounds of the past injustices and building an equitable society. 4 years after the unification of North and South Yemen to become the Republic of Yemen, a civil war occurred in the Arab nation. One of the effects of the conflict was the large-scale layoff of thousands of personnel in Yemen's southern regions who had previously worked in government, security, and the military. The conflict was precipitated by a separatist movement in southern Yemen that aspired to break away from the country's northern section. The unexpected dismissals were interpreted as a retaliation against people who had backed the separatist campaign. Secessionist movement in Yemen's south has grown, fueled by a sense of economic and political marginalization and discrimination. The Yemeni government has disputed charges of discrimination against the southern areas on several occasions.
The United States increased its humanitarian funding for Yemen in the current year 2023 by more than $34.5 million. According to a report by the U.S. Agency for International Development, the total U.S. funding provided since the beginning of 2023 amounted to more than $600 million. The local authority in Al-Makha organized a festival to celebrate the 33rd anniversary of Yemen unity. In the festival, the participants in the ceremony renewed their adherence to the national struggle to restore the state and to achieve a sustainable peace. They expressed their pride in the historical achievement of the Yemen unity that was achieved by the martyr leader Ali Abdullah Saleh.
The 22nd of May 1990 represents the unity of the Yemeni people. We congratulate the Yemenis on this occasion and we send our gratitude to the leaders of this country. Today, all Yemenis in all governorates celebrate the National Day in Al-Makha. We can find satisfaction in their speeches which express the Yemeni unity that we are all proud of.
Here's a reminder of the main headlines. Ambassador Ahmed Ali Abdullah Saleh congratulates Yemenis on the 33rd anniversary of the Reunification Day. May 1990 constitutes creation and rebirth of the Republic Arab of Yemen. Local rights group documents Houthi violations against civilians in Ib. This is the end of the news. It was Shazab Abdelbaei. Thank you for watching.